Bayern Munich today is in a perfect spot. Sporting success which was built on a great business method. But this was not the case throughout the Bavarian club history. They made numerous mistakes in the past and failed on the field before succeeding and elevating itself onto the biggest podiums of Germany and Europe. This is the story of Bayern Munich and how they rebuilt the German football machine. In 1976, Bayern Munich won the European Cup, their third in a row. It was a historic achievement, done exclusively by Ajax Amsterdam and Real Madrid at the time. The Bavarian team was full of stars: the Bombardier Müller, a young Karl-Heinz Rummenigge, the excellent keeper Sepp Maier, PC striker Ole Jonas, and captain Franz Beckenbauer. But within a few seasons, the stars gradually disappeared. The captain Beckenbauer left for the United States to flee from his complicated life in Germany. Legendary striker Gerd Müller fought with the manager and also left for the States. The keeper Sepp Maier was involved in a car accident that made him retire after playing in 442 consecutive matches. The centre-back Schwarzenberg retired after a series of career-ending injury, and all of this happened within 3 years and 17 years of success. Under the management of President Wilhelm Lüdecke, he stepped down from his post after the protest from the players, which never happened in German football before. Willy Hoffmann was voted as a new president. And one of the last decisions from the ex-president Lüdecke was to appoint ex-striker Uli Hoeneß as a new general manager in 1979. It was a very risky move as Hoeneß was only 27 years old, and after he was advised to retire early in his career because of the serious injury, Hoeneß quickly discovered the difficulty of the task ahead of Bayern's total debt was almost half of their revenues, and Bayern hadn't won the Bundesliga in 5 years at that time, as there were difficulties in signing league's best players for the Bavarian club. Unlike the situation today, but with the leadership of the Holy Hoeneß, he managed to bring in his brother and Stuttgart striker Dietmar Haris, and with a duo of Breitner, which contains both the young Rummenigge and Paul Breitner, who came back from Madrid, the Bavarian club was winning again and managed to snatch the Bundesliga for the first time in 6 years in 1980, after overcoming a tough Kevin Keegan-led Hamburg side. At that time, Bayern Munich had a historic streak. They never lost any of their 12 past finals, but all of that changed in 1980s when they faced English side Aston Villa in 1982 European Cup final. The Bavarians were clear favourites, but after missing numerous chances, the English side scored a winning goal and lifted the cups against all odds. Within that period, at the beginning of 80s, competition was getting fiercer on the Bundesliga side. Hamburg won 2 titles in a row, and then came Stuttgart and got themselves a single Bundesliga title in 1984. Bayern had to shift their strategy as they brought back ex-manager Odelberg, who lifted Bayern's first European Cup. And in the summer of 1984, General Manager Uli Hoeneß accepted Inter Milan's historic offer, which amounted to £2.5 million to acquire the services of Rummenigge. And with that deal, management successfully erased all the club's debt and brought in a young bright player by the name of Lothar Matthäus from the rival Borussia Mönchengladbach. In a historic deal for Bayern Munich, their fortune certainly shifted and they boosted their reputation as unstoppable force in German football. After winning the Bundesliga 3 times in a row, they also boosted their status by far the most hated team in Germany. It's been written that the popular phrase Bayern Dussel, Bayern Luck was coined at that time. An example of the famous phrase came in the penalty match of 1985-86 season. Werder Bremen, who were led by the manager Otto Rehhagel and striker Rudi Völler, were 1 win away from winning the Bundesliga title. They faced Bayern at home in the intense match. In the very last minute, Bremen had their golden chance to seal the match and the title when the referee handed them a penalty, which was clearly not the correct decision, but the specialist Michael Kutsev came forward and took the crucial shot. After the draw, Bayern Munich won by 6 goals against Mönchengladbach in the last match, whereas Bremen surprisingly lost and Bavarians were champions by goal difference. Although this phrase was used locally in Germany, Bayern Munich were far lucky from the European competitors, and the hate they received from Germany was not because of luck, but only because of their perceived arrogance and overconfidence. In the following season, and after clinching another Bundesliga title, Bayern Munich went on to another European Cup final with a huge confidence. The management saw that after the 1985 ban on English teams from European competition, the Bavarian club was serial favourites in Europe, especially after beating a tough Real Madrid side in the semis. As Ukin Honeb said before the final, that this is a new age for Bayern Munich, but they'll face the tough Portuguese champions Porto, led by their captain João Pinto and Algerian star Raban Mecher. After Bayern Munich went ahead and controlled the match in the first half, Porto mounted their surprise comeback in the 30 minutes of the second half. After Bayern Munich went ahead and controlled the match in the first half, Porto mounted a surprise comeback in the last 30 minutes of the second half.
Du talon, centre des pieds gauche, Extraordinaire! Et Juari marque le deuxième but de Porto.